are not yet susceptible to understanding, but that we can be confident will be brought to heel sometime in the future. Science, of course, is in the business of doing just this, answering questions about the natural world, Homo sapiens included. And since nature does not disclose its secrets readily, scientists are understandably proud whenever they solve any of its numerous puzzles. As a result, we teach courses, give lectures, and occasionally write books whose goal is to share these triumphs. They are, after all, hard-won and often immensely useful. No one, therefore, should begrudge us taking a victory lap now and then. But just as the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11, the cheers of the crowd do not always bespeak that the race is over or the battle won. I have been teaching science courses at the college and university level for 40 years, and am no less guilty than my colleagues of providing what may well be a misleading perspective on science. Like everyone else, I teach what is known, often at the risk of misleading students into thinking that today's science is a catalog of established and comprehended facts. This is how cells metabolize carbohydrates. This is how natural selection works. This is how the information encoded in DNA is translated into proteins. The reality, of course, is that we do know quite a bit about how cells metabolize carbohydrates, how natural selection works, and so forth. But another parallel reality is that there is much more that we do not know, and very few courses that admit it. One of these days, I will design a course titled something like What We Don't Know About Biology, hoping that my colleagues in chemistry, physics, geology, mathematics, psychology, and the like will join the fun. But until then, this book will have to do. It is, in a sense, a companion piece to a much more famous publication, or rather a series of 17 volumes, first published in France between 1751 and 1765, and best known as the Encyclopédie, which endeavored to summarize all human knowledge in its 18,000 pages of text, 75,000 different entries, and 20 million words. Its primary editor, Denis Diderot, was one of the heroes of the Enlightenment, and indeed the Encyclopédie represents a culmination of Enlightenment thought, which valued reason, science, and progress, what we know, above all else. Its frontispiece is especially delightful, depicting truth surrounded by a bright light, the traditional symbol of the Enlightenment itself, as an attractive young woman being disrobed by reason and natural philosophy, that is, science. The illustration is more than a bit erotic, as truth is revealed to be both alluring and accessible, albeit appropriately shy. Just as Diderot's Encyclopédie was a paean to Enlightenment values, notably the upside of human knowledge, Homo Mysterious is similarly enamored of reason, science, and progress, even though it is superficially dissimilar, and not merely because its goals and reach are much more limited. Nonetheless, in Homo Mysterious, we shall continue the tradition of the Encyclopédie's frontispiece, attempting to get a closer look at truth, but instead of undressing her, we shall proceed non-voyeuristically, pointing out where, despite the best efforts of reason and science, she continues to be at least somewhat clothed. All women, are beautiful, wrote Theodore Roethke, when they are half undressed. The same applies to truth itself. Unlike the Encyclopédie, which took all knowledge as its subject, in Homo Mysterious we shall limit ourselves to human beings. Not only that, we'll be concerned only with certain characteristics of Homo sapiens as seen through the lens of evolutionary biology. The traits in question are fundamental to being human, stubborn stigmata of our species' unique evolutionary heritage, yet their basis is neither understood by scientists nor for the most part even acknowledged by the public as the puzzles that they are. Most people are unaware that female orgasm, for example, and even religion, are biological mysteries simply because nearly everyone takes the most intimate aspects of his or her life for granted, so deeply woven into our substantive human being that they are rarely identified as legitimate perplexities. We members of Homo sapiens are almost literally immersed in mystery. The evolutionary enigmas of humankind are the seas in which we swim. In Homo Mysterious, you will be introduced to this ocean of unknowns, as well as to the major hypotheses that currently occupy scientists who are attempting to unravel each puzzle, including some proposed here for the first time. Like science courses, nearly all science books